Hey Shelby Bells, it's Shelby. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for another video. In today's video, you guys, have talked about Defnoodles and his trolling on social media linked to his Patreon. There's so much going on. I have so many thoughts about everything that Defnoodles has been doing lately and how I think it's all a ruse and a scam to lead people over to his Patreon, which is a paid platform, so that he can deal with not having to be as politically correct and as, you know, sensitive as you have to be on the YouTube platform. So anyway, if you guys are interested in hearing more about that drama, make sure that you keep on watching. Okay guys, so before we get into today's drama, if you are new here, my name is Shelby. I'm the crazy cat lady of the drama community here on YouTube. I bring you the tea 7 days a week with the help of my investigative research team, Mr. and Miss Kitty. This is Mr. Kitty. I don't know, can you see him on here? I know he's almost the same color as a cat tower, but he is part 1 of 2 of my investigative research team. And then we also have Miss Kitty in that rap. Yes. She's here too. She's right here. We bring you the tea 7 days a week. Now, Miss Kitty is more the brains behind the operation, and Mr. Kitty is more the face. He loves to be on camera. He loves to be pet. He loves to be held, all of that. Miss Kitty is really good about getting her receipts. She gets everything correct to the T all the time. Mr. Kitty, I'm just gonna say it, if there's ever a receipt that might not be so accurate, that might not be true, completely true, maybe it's only the half story or something like that, it's probably Mr. Kitty that pulled that receipt. Because here's the thing, he gets excited and he doesn't quite do all of his research sometimes. So if there's ever something that's not completely accurate, it's probably Mr. Kitty's fault. But we're not going to hold it against him, because he's trying to get on Miss Kitty's level, but he just can't. And I got them this new cat tower recently, and this is the second video, or the first video you guys are going to be seeing with the cat tower. So I'm keeping treats all over the cat tower right now. I read online that that's a way to get the cats to want to be on the cat tower and want to do the whole thing. Miss, you have to go to the cat tower to get the treats. You can't just get the treats from me handing them to you. The rule now is you have to get them off the cat tower. Oh, there goes Mr. Kitty. So anyway, I'm really trying to get them to like this new thing, and it's kind of working for Mr. Kitty. He kind of gets it, but Miss is a little bit more hesitant. She doesn't want to get on there and do all the things. I think she'll come around, but she's just kind of feeling it out. She's kind of scoping it out. It's only the second day that we've had this, so she's kind of just feeling out everything and investigating in her own time, right? But anyway, if you like cats and drama and tea, cats and tea, then give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified of all my future videos when they do post. Remember, all Shelby Bells ring the bell. Okay guys, so let's get into today's drama. So if you guys have been living under a rock, a drama rock, if you, so to speak, or whatever, then you might not have been seeing, or maybe if you don't have Twitter or something, then you maybe haven't been seeing all of Defnoodles' Twitter posts lately that he's been doing that are so problematic and just out of this world, right? By the way, follow me on Twitter, Beauty by Shelby. It's my old YouTube channel name. It used to be Beauty by Shelby, now It's Shelby. But Beauty by Shelby, I'll leave it up here for you so you can see it. Follow me on Twitter, guys. I'd love to see you there. But Dennis, or Defnoodles, whatever you want to call him, has been literally off his rocker lately on, oh, hey, Mr. Kater, you're so cute, on Twitter. And I think that it's all some sort of ruse, some sort of ploy to get people to go to his Patreon. Because if you guys are not familiar with Patreon, Patreon is a paid platform, right? So you have to subscribe by paying money, normally $5 a month, $10 a month, something like that, to get to see the person's content on Patreon. And because it's a paid platform to get into it, it's paid for play or whatever like that, then there's a lot more freedom for things you get to say. There's the terms of service and stuff on Patreon, and what you can say and what you can't say and what you can talk about, whatever, they're a lot looser. And you can get away with a lot more on Patreon than you can on YouTube. And Patreon also seems to be a way for creators to maybe things that they would maybe get canceled for saying on YouTube, or maybe that doesn't make them look in the most politically correct light. Typically only hardcore fans of somebody are gonna join someone's Patreon and pay money to see them. And so they can get away with kind of doing stuff that maybe the general population would not find acceptable on YouTube or something like that. So, but they're diehard fans, the ones that are subscribed to their Patreons, they're gonna be okay with it because they're just super, gung-ho about the creator themselves. Oh, this is gonna start scaring me when they start jumping up and down here. Mr. Kitty, he said, I'm just happy that he likes it. Defnoodles has been saying for about a week now that there is a group of people it started out as channels on YouTube, creators. Then he said anti-comedy people, which I don't even know what anti-comedy means. What does anti-comedy mean? Can someone explain to me what anti-comedy means? Now, I asked what anti-comedy means on Twitter, and then someone responded to me, and they said what it was supposed to mean, which meant like, it said that they meant like cancel culture or something. And I don't know. I had eaten an edible when I read that, so maybe I was just not understanding it because I was just, you know, super whatever off the edible. But I just got even more confused reading their description, and I mean, I just don't know what anti-comedy means. Does this mean that people don't find anything funny? Because for me, I find a lot funny, but I don't find stuff that's incredibly sensitive or triggering to people funny. Like, I don't find weight jokes funny. I don't find jokes about unaliving people funny. I don't find jokes about unaliving yourself funny and all of that, right? And so for me, it's like, I like comedy, but do we have to joke about those kind of things? And so I'm like, what is anti-comedy? I've never heard that in my life, right? So there's that. And then he started saying there's like he's just been saying a different way every single day to say that people are trying to get a big platform and that you shouldn't stand for it and you should join his Patreon to fight back. And I think that is the biggest crock of shit to get people to go onto his paid platform to scam them, to provide them with bogus content where he can be offensive, but only the people that don't find anything offensive, that are okay with joking about unaliving yourself or unaliving other people, or about like the stupid things, calling people P words, all that stuff. He'll go and he'll have only those kind of people there that'll find him funny, and he can get away with being nasty the way that he has been lately. That's what I think that it is. Straight up. I think, honestly, I would go as far as to say this whole thing that Def Noodles has been doing lately is a ploy to get him over there. I would go as far as to say that I think Def Noodles doesn't really want to be on YouTube anymore. I would go as far as to say is that he thinks that being on YouTube means you have to be a certain way, because honestly it does. You can't just be out here acting crazy, saying whatever you want to as a relevant person on YouTube and expect not to get anybody talking about you and say anything back, okay? It's just the truth all day long. But if you go on Patreon, even if the drama channels were to subscribe to your Patreon to hear what you said or whatever, it would get to a point where it's like it wouldn't even matter to make a video about it, because it's like no one's going to be able to watch really and keep up with the creator, because all they're doing is post on Patreon. So unless that person wants to waste their hard-earned money on joining someone's Patreon to watch all their content, then it's like they wouldn't care anyway. It's like he would just fall off irrelevancy as far as YouTube stuff goes. I would go as far as to say that I think that I have like a cat hair here or something, a story of my life. I would go as far as to say that I think that Def Noodles is trying to attract people to his Patreon, enough people that with what he makes on Patreon, it could be something similar to live off of, so where he didn't have to do YouTube as much. That's my personal opinion on that. I really do honestly think that. But I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work because I think he's going about it in such a stupid way that's gonna get maybe his like stands over there. But the thing is, there's so many more people that watch you on YouTube that would even bother to go to your Patreon. And you can make so much more money to live a much more comfortable life off of YouTube and just maybe not being an asshole, not saying these insensitive, horrible things about people or to people like you've been doing on YouTube and Twitter. You can just maybe try to be like a good guy, a good person, like the person that you were back in the day before, like I don't know if you just showed your true self, or maybe just go back to who you were pretending to be before, dude, or something like, I don't know. But it's like, I feel like the whole thing's a ruse to get people to go over there to get the attention off of him, because only his stans will watch him on Patreon. Now let me know, do you think that's a reach? Do you think that's like a stretch? Like, what do you think? Do you think that, like, you know, I'm crazy or whatever? Like, let me know. Like, whatever you think is valid, let me know in the comment section down below. But for me, that just makes a lot of sense, because you're not gonna get as much backlash on Patreon for saying outlandish things like you do on YouTube. A lot of stuff you can't even really say on YouTube because you'll get demonetized like super easily, but Patreon, they don't do that like that. I don't know, I just feel like the Patreon thing is a way for him to maybe take a cop out from taking any accountability for his actions, because the people that will bother to pay for that won't hold him accountable because they'll just think that he is the best thing ever. Because the thing is, okay, it's starting to turn a little bit now in a different direction, but for the most part, during most of this stuff with Def Noodles, it's been like most people are just saying like, dude, wake up, like stop, like please stop, like we liked you, like we really like you and you're just doing these things and it's making us like really not okay. And I think it all started with the alt-right comments about Rich Lutz, and then things have been just kind of getting weird, and then the Papa Gut comment, things took a really big dip, and then the barrel of the shotgun comment, things went even lower, and then he's just doubled down and then made fun of both of those things online and made fun of them in his busted little roast and stuff. And it's just like, I feel like he's losing it because he doesn't know how to take any accountability for his actions. Does he really think he's right in all of this stuff? I don't know. I can't like understand how you would think that saying that to someone is okay or right. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because there's like a difference between trolling and like really actually hurting people. And I feel like, I don't know, just the whole troll culture thing too. People who just like think it's okay to troll. Like, here's the thing, when you're like being petty and playful trolling, because I've trolled a little bit, like I've been like, so like I will play into stuff and make people think certain thing or whatever, like just to play into it and troll like that. But when you troll about like when you troll in the way that you're doubling down on your horrible behavior, I think that crosses a line to where it's like the dangerous, like the kind of trolling that's not okay, right? There's a difference between like petty, like, you know, non-hurtful trolling and being just playful and petty, and being hurtful. And I kind of think that Dennis is like on the hurtful side of the trolling because he has hurt people. I mean, that comment about the shotgun, that tweet or whatever, he doubled down on that. And I'll say this, I said it in another video and I'll say it again. You can't make comments like that, dude, because you never know who's sitting on the other side of the screen and they read that you responded that to them and they're already dealing with a lot mentally, and that's like their final straw, and then they actually do it. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you say something like that to somebody? You never know how someone is struggling. And I would hope that Dennis wouldn't ever see anybody do that because of a tweet that they made, but what if they did? And it wouldn't be Dennis's fault in that sense because, you know, like, there's probably a lot of things that like added up and compounded to make them do that, but like, it's like, why would you want to make somebody feel that way that already might be feeling that way? I just don't understand that. And then the other side, the people that are on the other side of it, and they're like, you know, take a joke, you can't cater to everyone's feelings online. No, you can't cater to everyone's feelings online. But that's true in the sense of saying like, you know, a lot of things, but not when it comes to unaliving yourself or stuff like that. I feel like that is crossing the line. And I felt that was crossing the line since he made the tweet. I still feel like it's crossing the line. I feel like that kind of trolling that he's doing is unacceptable and not okay. And if he thinks that people are trying to get him deplatformed for saying those kind of things, maybe some people actually are. I know that I'm not. But I would say that he kind of, like, that's going to be kind of like karma and like deserving, right? Like if you come after people and say that they should unalive themselves, or what was the saying? Educate yourself at the end of a loaded shotgun. And then you're mad because people are emailing your sponsors saying, hey, why are you working with this guy if he's acting like this towards people? Then I would say that maybe that's it. And if your sponsors do happen to pull out or something, I'm not sure if that's confirmed or if they have pulled out or not, I don't know. But if his sponsors did pull out, that should be a message that you can't say those kind of things to people. It shouldn't be you doubling down again, saying that people are trying to get you canceled, people are trying to destroy you because you made it good. No, take some accountability for your fucking actions, dude. It's not okay. If everyone around you is telling you it's wrong, then it's wrong, dude. The thing is, everyone's telling him he's wrong, except for his little buddy Steven, who's just gassing him up. I don't like that Steven guy. I do not like that Steven guy that he is partnered with on his podcast and in the roast and stuff. I don't like him. I think that he's a horrible influence on Dennis. I don't know how long they've known each other or how long they've been friends or whatever, but whenever he decided to start taking advice for his like image and stuff online, it was the worst thing that he could have done, because this guy is honestly the worst. He's just not funny. First of all, he's not funny, and he makes like the worst jokes. And it's like, dude's living in like 2006, 2007 when those kind of jokes like flew by and they were like accepted. It's not like that anymore. You gotta change it up. Change your comedy up. Change the gig, because that's not what the people are interested in these days, right? Change your gig, change your tone, because it's not 2006, 2007 anymore. Those kind of insensitive jokes aren't flying anymore, and people are gonna call you out for it. Find another way to make your humor work. And if you can't find another way to make your humor work, or you can't find other stuff to joke about, maybe you're not that funny to begin with. That's all that's all I'm saying. But anyway, I think it's a big scam, the whole thing. All he's doing on Twitter and all that trolling and stuff, I think it's a huge scam to get people to go into his Patreon to support him there, his big fans and stans. I think he's trying to manipulate his audience into thinking that people are trying to get him taken down so that they go and support him on Patreon, a paid platform, and in turn give him more money. Maybe, just maybe, if enough people go to his Patreon and pay to watch him do stuff on Patreon, maybe he can use some of that money to put a little bit more production value into that busted little roast. That roast looked like a high school theater production that wasn't even the school-wide production. It was like a little classroom theater production that you worked on every day in theater class for a few weeks and then performed it during that scheduled period for your theater class, for, teachers or your parents or something like that. That's what it looked like. It didn't look like, this major roast battle, epic, iconic, And then for the people that are saying, I'm gonna leave the rest of that thought for another video. We're gonna talk about Dennis and the whole roast battle in another video, so stay tuned for that one, because I have a lot of thoughts on that. And this video will be like 35 minutes long if I start talking about that, so we'll save that for another video. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about this whole Patreon thing with Def Noodles in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's gonna be it for today's video, you guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified of all my future videos when they do post. Remember, all Shelby bells ring the bell. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, YouTube should be suggesting a couple more down here for you to choose from, so I'd love it if you did that. And aside from that, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.